I'm not supposed to do that. I guess that there's not many of us here today that, especially as preachers, would not like to share some thoughts and memories about Jim. So I'm no dummy. I'm not going to open it. Now, if we're all like Jim, it would be a different story because he's a man of few words. What he said was so significant. Actually, Jim also, as you know, shared a lot of nonsense. He knew more useless information than most people I know. And I'll get into that later. I don't remember when I first met Jim, but it was when I was serving in Britain, Langford, Pierpont, and he was serving in Claremont Heckler that I came to know him. Jim was really into CPE, and I couldn't think of anything worse. But Jim taught me the unit of CPE when Father Larry Murtha, who many of you know, led a group at the Britain Hospital. It was then that I began to experience and appreciate Jim and learned his incredible gift for listening and encouragement and knowledge. Our paths next crossed when I served in Bismarck as Jim's district superintendent. And I can still remember the moment when Jim unexpectedly showed up at my in-laws' farm the day we were to move into the parsonage, offering to help haul my books, and I never even asked him for help. Good or bad, I was the district superintendent responsible for moving Jim to Wall. I knew his family lived down in this area, and his family was so important to him. He also told me several times that Bismarck was just too big for him. He didn't like the traffic. I don't know if I did him a favor or not, but it did start a difficult time for him dealing with health and stress issues, and I've always felt bad about that. On the other hand, it did bring some blessings. It brought him closer to his family. It brought him closer to Rapid City, and we got a chance to be together again. When Jim went on medical disability, he chose to link up with First United Methodist Church because I was here. Now, if you talk to Liz, she'll tell you that he did not go to Candy Lake because she told him he couldn't go to Candy Lake where she was at. I know better because I was here. It was a great honor when he showed up in church. His encouragement has always been priceless. When Jim told me that I preached a good sermon, I knew that I preached a good sermon. Jim and I planned to lead a Wesley tour together in England a few years back. He was going to be the advocate for Charles Wesley, and I was going to be the advocate for John Wesley. As you know, Jim tended to be always on the side of the underdog. The tour never happened. The drooping economy did us in. It was still a hope of ours for another day to do that together. It's a hope unrealized. It was a very happy moment when I took Jim out for lunch last summer and offered him a half-time position on our staff as our visitation pastor. I don't think he gave me an answer right away, but it wasn't too long after that he called me and said yes. We had a very enjoyable time working together. He contributed much to the ministry of this church. He visited a lot of people. He did some teaching. He wrote curriculum for our new member class. And he was enjoying himself. Late last summer, we were doing what's called Pancakes in the Park for our older members. And we also were offering blood pressures at that event. And Jim came up to me and said, Doug, I don't know if you noticed, but I had my blood pressure today. It's the lowest it's been in years. And it's because we're working together. A great compliment. Jim added much color and humor to our staff. This is where the useless information comes in. At most staff meetings, Jim would start out with a list of that sort of stuff, such as what special day it was. And when he had voice problems, the doctor told him that he couldn't talk for several weeks. The humor continued as he passed little notes around to us to read to one another. And by the way, did you know that today is Bugs Bunny Day, National Honesty Day, National Take Back Prescription Drugs Day, World Healing Day, Mr. Potato Head Day. We got Mr. Potato Head and his sidekick over here. And also It is National Oatmeal Cookie Day.
No.
And we're going to have a lot of oatmeal cookies.
No.
And one of the things that I enjoyed about Jim is that he was quieter than me.
No.
It helped me in my own lifelong struggle with my introversion. On the other hand, Jim was far braver than me. As Bob already alluded to, he often stood up during the annual conference to say the hard thing, serving as our conscience. I envied him for that. I also envied him for all his hair.
No.
But Jim had pronounced voice problems last fall. The doctor prescribed no talking for 6 weeks, and then another 4. It was on the Sunday morning that he was finally going to talk again and do our morning prayer that the first indication developed that something was wrong. And early the next morning, Jim and Marie heard the prognosis of brain cancer. It was a far too fast downhill slide, hardly 2 months. Jim did not deserve an end like this. For such a just man, it was far too unjust. For such a quiet man, it should have not been so quiet. I grieved much. I negotiated with and pleaded with God so many times. I'm sure that many of you joined me in those prayers. But here we are. There's so many words that we could share about Jim, and I hope that we have and we will continue to do that. But what's most glorious is that Jim was more than just a story of words, but a life of flesh and blood. A person who reached out with hands that worked for us and cared for us, with a face that smiled at us and laughed with us, with a heart that received our care and cared for us. We give God thanks for giving him to this world, for his faithfulness to Jim. God is with him on the mountaintops of his life and in the very dark valleys of his life and everywhere in between. And now God takes care of him in a way that none of us can even begin to comprehend. We join God this morning